There's over 30 menopause symptoms. Not to say you get on a patch, it's going to solve everything. It's so many symptoms that you might not have them every single day. I finally got to where I was feeling balanced. I'm feeling better. The mood swings are stable. The brain fog is clearing up. I am feeling better in my body. Then you call the pharmacy to get your prescription filled. And the words that you dread hearing is, I'm sorry, your patch is on back order. Let me call the next chain. And then the problem with that is when you find it, you have to call your provider to change your prescription.
Why is it that patches are not being produced on a mass capacity? Because women need
many different parts of the country that women are having difficulties filling these prescriptions.
Why is menopause not a disability? Because it really should be.
Listen,
she warned me.
I am putting you all on notice. Because if I swerve, I'm just saying, give me grace. Because it's the reality of it.
MenoTheSis, her heartbeat is the power of the world. MenoTheSis.
Hey girls, hey! This episode of MenoTheSis is proudly sponsored by Beating Heart Health for Women. At Beating Heart Health for Women, the mission is to educate, empower, and advocate for women through every stage of life by creating spaces where conversations about women's health are welcomed, resources are accessible, and every woman feels seen, heard, and supported. Ladies, we are excited to invite you to our 2026 inaugural Menopause Awareness Summit on Saturday, October the 3rd, 2026, right here in Apopka, Florida. Join us for an inspiring day of expert speakers, meaningful conversations, wellness experiences, community, and education designed to help women thrive, not just survive the menopause transition. Tickets are on sale now. Click the link in the description to reserve your seat today and join us for the 2026 inaugural Menopause Awareness Summit. Now, are you a women-centered business, wellness professional, or an organization? We'd love to have you as a vendor. Click the vendor application link in the description below to apply and showcase your products or services to women from across Central Florida. If you're interested in becoming a sponsor, partner with us to advance women's health education, wellness, advocacy, and awareness while demonstrating your organization's commitment to empowering women and strengthening our community. Click the sponsor link in the description or visit bhhforwomen.org and select the donate page to learn more about sponsorship opportunities and support our mission, because together we are changing the conversation around women's health, one woman, one family, one community at a time. See you at the summit. Hey girls, hey, welcome back to MenoTheSis. I am your host, Dr. LaShonda Bailey.
And I am your co-host, Veronica Mcdowall. And guess what? It's my birthday week.
Happy birthday, Veronica.
Thank you. Leo.
Yes, we've been hearing it around the studio for what?
The whole month.
Yes. Happy birthday, Veronica.
Thank you.
But today, ladies, we want to talk about something very, very, very important. The title of today's episode is Where's My Patch? Menopause, HRT shortages, and what are my options? So that's what we're going to talk about today, ladies, because that seemed to be the hottest topic ever.
Yes. Right now.
Right now.
That's the golden ticket, Willy Wonka.
That's the golden ticket. So the question is, where's my patch? That's what we're asking, right? Because apparently getting your Estradiol patched filled has become a part-time job for some ladies.
Yes.
I can attest to that myself. I finally got to where I was feeling balanced. I'm feeling better.
Mm-hmm.
The mood swings are stable. The brain fog is clearing up. I am feeling better in my body. Then you call the pharmacy to get your prescription filled. And the words that you dread hearing is, I'm sorry, Ms. Bailey, your patch is on back order.
Mm.
Yes. And that has been happening to a lot of women over and over and over and over for the past few months. Now I'm going to tell you my personal experience, ladies. I was without a patch last month for about 2 weeks waiting for Estradiol patches. So I got to the point where I'm on a scavenger hunt because I thought I had figured it out that I am going to fill my prescription at the local grocery store pharmacy.
Right.
You remember when I told you I moved
Mhm.
there and I started having better luck?
Yeah.
Then my doctor changed my prescription for 1 month to 3 months. So I
Mhm.
had a 90-day supply. So it wasn't so much of a anxiety
Right.
because I had it for 90 days versus
Exactly.
30. So it gave me a little time just to kind of,
Yeah. Make
you know,
sure that
have some stable moments that I'm not
exactly.
obsessing over my prescription.
Mhm.
So this time I called and I'm like, okay, I need to refill my patch. I'm trying to see what's going on at the pharmacy. Unavailable.
Ooh.
I said,
Okay.
okay, so when do you all expect your supply? When are you getting them in? The words that you hear is, we don't have a date as to when we're going to get a supply.
And which
in."
is the worst words to hear.
Which is the worst because you don't even know when the manufacturer is going to give the prescription to you.
Right.
So then first thing you do is you call around neighboring pharmacies because you
Mhm.
want to know, do you all have patches?
The hunt
Okay, you got them
starts.
patches, you got them patches. No, call the next pharmacy. It's literally like you got a printout and you're
Mhm.
just fixing it off. Let me call the next chain. And then the problem with
Oh,
that
sure.
is when you find it, you have to call your provider to change your prescription over. Or
Oh.
you have to get the pharmacist to
Just
really do their job to pull that prescription and transfer it over.
and most are not gonna go.
Okay.
And I mean, I don't blame them because they're very busy.
Exactly.
But they gotta be an easier way.
And I think that's why so many women are frustrated. I was one of them because you're talking about hormone replacement therapy. I did not want to entertain it at all. You know my story. I told
Yes.
you my story, ladies. When I started researching hormone replacement therapy, I read an article, it's tied to some form of cancer. I was like, I'm not doing it. My sister passed away with endometrial cancer. And I have to lead with that a lot of times when I'm seeking treatment. It's something that
Yes.
genetically
Mhm.
has happened.
Yep.
And now it has happened to my mom that is 80. And I am directly genetically attached to them. So it's like,
Yes.
okay, I have to look at things different now.
Mhm.
So did some research, got with an amazing gynecologist. I am on the patch. I'm feeling better. I have progesterone. So I have my progesterone pills
Mhm.
coating the lining of my uterus. I got the patch. I'm feeling balanced. I got my testosterone cream. I'm doing all right. Now it's a threat
Yes.
to me being balanced.
Mhm.
Not to say that my whole treatment plan eliminates every hot flash. I'm never going to have a night sweat. I'm
Mhm.
never going to have that brain fog. No, I still do have symptoms, but they have decreased considerably. And I
Right.
feel so much better. I'm able to function more. I'm able to sleep more,
Have a better quality
have
of
a better
life.
quality of life, right? So now I'm like, oh my gosh, now I got to go looking for patches. Now I got, so on the plate of being the mom, wife, business entrepreneur, doing all the things,
Mhm.
now I got to put on and find time where I could track down a patch.
Yeah, become a pharmacist and investigator.
Yes. So, okay, now you got to be the doctor.
Yep.
You got to be the pharmacist.
Yep.
You have to be the researcher.
Yep.
You have to be all the things because it's just you're fighting.
Mhm.
Once you get that piece of quality of life, you want to fight it to continue.
Of
'cause
course.
you're feeling better.
Listen, just dealing with the symptoms on a daily basis. If there's anything that can help it, why not go
Right.
hard for that?
Go hard for it because I'm trying to find different ways. So I was doing some research. A lot of doctors are tapping into this conversation.
Mhm.
So they're saying if you were on the patch and you have the 2 times a week dose, you may be able to go down to once a week. And then Estradiol spray.
Oh, okay.
Or
some fillers
or the gel.
Mm-hmm.
So I did see some doctors giving that advice, like telling you an alternate treatment plan.
Mm-hmm.
And I can be honest with you, I didn't even look for those options.
Because you already know what works for you, so that's it.
I didn't even look. Because one thing is, okay, now you're on something else, your body is getting accustomed to that. Where's my patch?
Right.
Yes, that is an option. That is a workaround. If I had to do it, I would. But my brain was so focused on, I'm going to find me a patch. I'm like, I don't know what, like, Ellie, I need to go down. Listen, I don't know if I have to meet somebody down a back where them patches at. Okay, I was looking for patches. And I will tell you, with my persistence, I was so happy. I talked to one pharmacist, called him up to find out if they had. She was like, I have one box. So I told her, I was like, okay, so, my prescription is a 90-day prescription. So I'm, three going to fill 90 days. She says, well, we have other women that, may need it. I only have one box. For now, I'm only going to fill it for 1 month. I said, perfect. I don't care. Transfer, do whatever you need to get my prescription. I will be there to pick up the 1 box of patches.
Okay.
Let me tell you, ladies, that's my Christmas gift. 3 months of patches.
Come closer. We want to see.
3 months.
Oh,
I don't even got to get nothing for Christmas because Santa came early. I have 3 months of patches and they had my progesterone
She
pills.
found a patch.
Listen, what I'm telling you, ladies, is I know it's frustrating, but just keep going, keep calling. It doesn't. If you have to travel, travel outside of your demographic area, if you have to travel outside of your zip code, go over 2 counties over, I'm telling you it's worth it because I started to feel better. So I am going to go hard to continue to feel better because I know where I came from.
Yep.
So that's just my little spiel, my little story.
Mm-hmm.
I am happy. I had a new patch. I applied it last Monday, and I feel like right now I'm starting to.
It's now the effects is okay.
I'm
It's taking
starting
place.
to feel better. I will say I only flipped out 1 time.
Oh, that's
when
good.
I was off the patch.
That's good.
Not to say that's acceptable, but I'm saying you got to give me grace.
Exactly.
You got to give me grace. So I'm telling you, ladies, don't be frustrated. Keep going. Keep researching. Keep trying to find those alternatives until you're able to.
More concrete solution.
Yeah, because what I will say is that with the alternatives, at least you have something.
Right.
At least you can have some form of a relief. But the patch is effective for me. Yeah. So I wasn't going to stop till I got a patch.
No, I absolutely don't blame you and don't think that you should have. My question is that they know that this is such a high demand item, like GLP-1s.
Yes.
That's a high demand item. So doctors, when they say, oh, it's out of stock, they get that within a day. Okay, we got it. Why is it that patches are not being produced on a more mass capacity? Because women need it. Like if you go on your timeline, if you're going through perimenopause, menopause, postmenopausal, patches is a topic. Everyone is talking about they need their patch. I want my estradiol patch. Where is it? And it's, I feel it's unfair that women have to wait so long for something to keep them very balanced. Like even psych meds. Y'all don't want nobody waiting that. Let's look at it like psych meds.
Right. Because there's an emotional part to menopause.
And if the hormones is not regulated and checked due to the medication that we are supposed to be taking, when you guys run out of it or you're not staying on top of producing more so you don't run out of it, you cause so much strain and hurt to the females. Yeah. The women. And we are the world.
We are the world.
And we are the future.
Yeah. What I will say is it's kind of like a gift and a curse.
It is.
This whole situation. Because you have to think women were so afraid to even entertain hormone replacement therapy. I was one of the women. So you have to think about it as the gift is that we're educating ourselves.
Yep.
There's more knowledge about it. There are more doctors that specialize
Yep.
in menopause, and we're getting the help we need. The ones, the ones that are vocal, that we're speaking up, that we are taking time to connect with other women, ask questions, go to seminars, all types of things, right? So now there's more awareness. Now with that awareness, here comes the shortage because women are educating themselves and more are getting on the therapy and doing well and feeling better.
Right.
So if I'm talking to one of my girlfriends, I tell every girl, this patch has gotten me together. I'm transparent when I say it took me a long time to get there, but I think the gift and the curse is that it's working, and the curse is so many of us is working for. Now there's a shortage. So guess what? Fix it.
Now.
Because us women, we want to feel good. We want a better quality of life, and we want to still function.
Correct.
That's why we're seeking treatment. And isn't that what women's health is about?
It is definitely what women's health about. And when people like me, because I'm gonna go on the patch, I just can't do it yet because I got some other things we got to get regulated first.
Right.
But I need it.
Yes, we got to clear that shortage up, Veronica.
I'm giving the world time to let them know
get it together.
I'm coming, and more like me are coming.
Yes.
We need it. So let's try to figure out some way to get better at it. Actually, Dr. Jess, who you guys just saw the most recent drop, our episode with Dr. Jess, and she's a clinical pharmacist, and she talked about alternatives as well to help with, hormone replacement therapy. That is why you need a clinical pharmacist on your team as well.
I think that
because they can have some insight and some little things to help you get to pass the time as well.
Yeah.
So that everybody works together. It's all a big pot of stew.
Yeah.
And we got to put everything in there together to make it taste right.
I think that is true because Dr. Jess brought on supplements.
Yes.
And I didn't even think about additional supplements to take to help balance the hormones. So that was eye-opening for me. But a little bit of statistics, I would say, that I did a little bit of research. And as of July 2026, the American Society of Health System Pharmacists reports supply problems affecting several strengths and manufacturers of the Estradiol transdermal patches. Some products have no estimated release date, while others are being released intermittently.
Okay.
So that's problematic. And it's also scary at the same time because it isn't just my pharmacist. It isn't just Orlando.
Correct. It's all over the world.
All over
the world.
Yep. Many different places, many different parts of the country that women are having difficulties filling these prescriptions.
Exactly.
And I think that's pretty sad. So coming from someone who was fearful about approaching HRT, I go hard to find what I need to continue to feel better. And I would just advise you ladies to do the same. First thing, don't panic. I would say, don't start changing your medications.
No.
Okay?
No.
Because desperate times is desperate measures.
Yes.
So what I can suggest for you, just for the menopause medication shortage, ask the pharmacist whether another location has your exact prescription. So before you go down to once a week, if you're on the 2 times a week, call around, ask the pharmacist. I notice if I tell the pharmacist, can you find out if you have it at your other location? That doesn't get me anywhere. I actually have better luck walking into the pharmacist.
Yeah.
Not even calling on the phone because the pharmacists are so busy. They have you on hold for so long. I literally drive in my car, get in, and I drive and walk in the pharmacist.
Yeah.
I need to speak to the
It's
pharmacist.
probably best to do it face to face
I
anyway.
think it's best to do that instead of calling somebody on the phone. By the time you're on hold, there's another woman on the phone calling about that same patch.
Okay. Listen.
So that's one thing. Another one is ask whether another manufacturer or equivalent product, because I notice when I get my patches, it's a different manufacturer every single time.
Okay, so it's definitely still a work in progress.
It's definitely a work in progress. And then the problem with that too is you may have a side effect or reaction to one
Mhm.
and not the other. Because remember, I told you I just kept breaking out. I had like a
Yes.
rash on my face, and I kept saying, "Where is that coming from?"
Yep.
And I started doing a little, reading, seeing
Mhm.
what the side effects were. And for the 2 weeks that I have a patch, the rash went. So you kind of want to look at the other manufacturer, see if it's the same type of or same level of side effects, because
Mhm.
you could have a reaction from one patch from another manufacturer where you didn't have one with another.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that is something to look at. Contact the prescribing clinician for a new prescription if it's required. So if you can't find your 2 times a week and now
Yeah,
you're
just
down to
go
1,
down.
your
Yep.
doctor is like, "Listen, I'm down to 1. I can get only once a week." And to me, I would rather have 1 patch per week without having a patch at all.
Yeah.
Another
Something to
thing
balance you out.
Exactly. Another thing is check the other pharmacists, which I did say, rather than assuming one chain
Mhm.
inventory. So if you go to one pharmacist brand, don't just assume that, okay, all the CVSs are out
Correct.
or all Walgreens is out. You kind of
Right.
have to cross
Yep.
and do your due diligence and go back and forth, and even check the grocery store
Yep.
pharmacists.
And the local pharmacies that the mom and pop ones,
Correct.
there are a few of them that still exist.
Yep.
You can check those places as well.
Yep. I agree. So that's just a little segue, little bit of things that we suggest that
Mhm.
I have noticed, and I was able to find them. So I wish you luck, ladies, on your scavenger hunt, because this is so unfair for us to have to go through this. It's like women, we have to fight so hard to want to be healthy,
Yeah.
to want to feel better, to just want to function better.
Just to be us.
Yes.
And it's really rough.
Yeah, it
I'm gonna
is.
tell you a joke.
What?
So today, my son comes up to me and he says, not today, the other day at Meet the Teacher.
Mhm.
He said, "Oh, my friend's mom walks up to me and says, Kennedy, let me tell you about your mom menopause thing. I was watching it. And so she's trying to hear, she was like, wait, you know about menopause?" And he said, I mean, I think so. So she's telling him, she was like, yes, I love the podcast.
Mhm.
And I see there's an event coming up. I want to come to the event. You know what? I got to reach out to your mom. And then so he comes home. He's like, Mom, okay, I guess I'm a menopause professional now.
You're a menopause celebrity.
Because they asking me
You're a local
questions.
menopause celebrity.
So he asked me questions. So he said, Julia, but what is menopause? And Julia was like, well, this is the best way for me to put it to you. You know how we're taught in school that we have to go through puberty, right? And we get all excited and we go through it and we're just looking forward to it. She said, menopause is the opposite because it's adult puberty for women. And we don't want it. I said, I like that.
I like it. I like it. That's a prime example. It is a prime example.
And then he said, oh, okay.
Yeah. Your son comes home to ask you about menopause.
Yes.
Because it's a thing.
Yeah.
My son could do a workshop on menopause.
Right?
Because it's what it is. It's like you get to a point and your symptoms get so unmanageable that it's like you can't hide it anymore.
No.
You cannot make an excuse for why you are
losing your memory, having brain fog,
and you so irritable. You irritable. You don't want anybody to talk to you. You want to be alone and with them at the same time.
Exactly.
You're crying, then you're laughing, and then you are forgetting what you're doing. So it's like
it's stressful.
You can't hide that anymore.
No.
So you got to start talking because they're gonna start thinking you crazy.
Yep.
So that's why you have to start having these conversations
and explain it. So and then they can help out sometimes. You know.
Yes.
Maybe keep it a little stress level. The patches ain't coming in this week, so I need everybody to be on a.
Listen.
All right.
I need you to understand. I pull the family together. I need you to understand. I am out of medication.
Yes.
Okay. I do not have my patch. I had to tell my husband I do not have patches.
I know you told me.
Listen,
me.
I am putting you all on notice. Because if I swerve, I'm just saying, give me grace.
I want you.
Give me some grace because it's what it is. It's the reality of it. So I just want to say, before I got the patch, right? I had a menopause cabinet.
Yes, I want to hear about this.
I had a cabinet. Before I was convinced that I needed to go on hormone replacement therapy, that I needed to go down that avenue to really, I told you I was shut down. I don't want to do it. I'm going to do it holistic. I had a whole cabinet and it went from supplements, creams, vitamins, teas, cooling things, calming things, sleeping things, hot flash things. Like if somebody said menopause on a label, like if it said that,
That's it. It was
I
getting
probably
added.
researched it, and I'm a Prime, Amazon Prime. It was at my house the next day because I was searching to feel better. And I know a lot of women are trying different things. And my experience with natural, it worked until it didn't.
Right.
So it's kind of like 3 months of taking this medication. I'm feeling better. And then your body gets immune to it. The hot flashes came back and not sudden. They return back to how they were before. So the medication no longer working. So then I'll research something else.
Right.
And then I'll buy something else. That will work a couple of months. And so it was just a repeat of up and down, yo-yo up and down. And I felt like I could not.
Couldn't do it. Not to interrupt you, but was that like your primary symptom you would compare all the drugs with?
Yes. Okay. So that is a very good question because there's over 30 menopause symptoms, right? Not to say you get on a patch, it's going to solve everything. That is a misconception that everything is going. It's so many symptoms that you might not have them every single day. The main symptoms I had is I had hot flashes. I had the night sweats. I had the brain fog. I had the fatigue. I wasn't sleeping. I had the insomnia, the restless leg syndrome. My joints was hurting. My knees was hurting. And I was just like, I was sluggish, just dragging myself through. And I was hot flashing at least 6 times in 1 hour. Then I had to start watching my body because what I was eating was making me hot flash.
Right.
I hot flash from caffeine. I hot flash from sweets. I hot flash from an overload of carbohydrates. So I may be very different from other women because remember I told you I had a bariatric surgery.
Right.
So my gut is different.
Correct.
And you all know that health is in your gut. That's what you're trying to balance is gut health. That's your immune system. The majority is in your gut. So it's very different for me. So I had to start looking at, okay, what makes me feel really, really bad? Hot flashes are very uncomfortable. So I had to look at it. So whenever I took a medication, I would look at the hot flashes, how they would decrease, the night sweats, and the insomnia.
Okay.
Because I wasn't able to sleep. I was up at night and then I had like cramps, leg cramps.
Oh.
So I would view it that way. What was my most severe symptoms? And when I took the medication, how did that medication help those? Because those were unbearable. It was like, okay, what can I deal with? You want it all to go away, but you have to be realistic. What do I want to deal with? I know I can function when my ear itch. That's a symptom. I had that. I had some menopause acne, but a hot flash and the night sweats that you're getting up in the middle of the night.
Sweats, okay.
That's what I'm saying. So that's how I was measuring it. My most extreme symptoms. How was this medication helping? Were there any benefits to helping me be able to function and bring those down?
Okay.
So that's what I did. I had teas. I had creams. Someone said get ashwagandha, black horse, creatine, increase your protein, collagen, fiber, like everything, magnesium. I had magnesium spray. I sprayed some magnesium on my body one night. I got out of the shower. In the middle of the night, I had to 2 hours. I was tossing and turning. It left like a film on my skin and I had to get up and take another shower just to get it off. It's like,
you willing to try anything?
I'm willing to try
anything.
So then they said, okay, you don't get the spray. You got to change and get the lotion. I put the lotion on at night. I wake up, I have a hot flash. I'm sliding down the street. I was like, I got to get up and take another shower. What do? You have to find what works for you. So you just have to look at your symptoms and you got to find a balance. Right now, the patch helps me with my hot flashes, my night sweats, my insomnia when I pair it and I take my progesterone because it helps me sleep. I notice the difference if I eat like I'm supposed to eat during the day, if I get the right amount of protein, I lessen the sugar, limit myself to only 1 cup of coffee, a small cup of caffeine. I notice, and I hydrate. So I gotta get my fluid in and my liquids in. If I do that, I noticed I would have a good night's sleep and I will wake up and I'm not riddled with pain in my body.
Okay.
The fatigue is down. I don't feel like the Tin Man when I got out because I fed my muscles and my bones and my body what it needed. But when you're busy.
I was just about to say that.
What you do when you're busy?
Because when you have many, many hats,
correct,
it's really hard to stay on top of that.
You are correct. And I think that's where we do ourselves a disservice because we are all the things to all other people.
Yeah.
And then you don't take a minute to pause. I used to meal prep on Sundays. That was my day after church, in the evening. I used to meal prep for the week. Whole family eating healthy. I couldn't tell you the last time I meal prep because I'm busy. And now that, my mom is here recovering and I'm taking care of her, that looks very different. And I should do that because even she, most of all, needs to be eating healthy.
Right.
But it's kind of like, let's just try to buy something. And if we buy it and we get it from a restaurant, let's pray it's as healthy as it gets and keep it moving. Because you got to eat dinner. We got to get fed.
Yep. And time is of the essence.
Time is of the essence. So I think that when we are functioning like that, like, what do you do? That's why we had Victoria on to talk to us about that. The license. It's like, what do you do? And I think the summit is a good way to just give us accountability.
Yes.
Right? This is what we do. We got MenoTheSis. We got Beating Heart Health for Women. And I always say that I'm building such a beautiful community. We are building such a beautiful community. You are building community outside of me too. But this is the forefront of it.
Yeah.
And we have to practice what we preach.
Yes, we do.
Yes. And I kind of say that to myself all the time. Like, LaShonda, get it together. You got to eat healthy today.
You can't be a spokesperson.
You cannot be
trying to tell people what to do and you ain't doing it.
Exactly. So I do understand. I understand giving grace. I understand trying to figure it out. But I will say, you got to keep going, ladies. So when the patch is short, that's when we're resourceful women. We know how to get it done.
Exactly. If you really want something, you're going to get it.
Listen. Go get it. Go get your blessings. Go get it. Go get it. Go get your patches. Okay. I had to do that for a minute. I had to have a praise worship moment because that's how serious this is.
It is very serious. It's very, very serious.
So let me just play devil's advocate for a minute. Okay. You see what we have to go through to get our patches as women, to be balanced, to feel better, to keep moving families forward.
Right.
Yeah. Have you ever lately heard of a Viagra shortage?
No, I knew that was coming. You can find that in the gas station. They make sure it's available,
but
everywhere.
But what I'm saying to you is, do you see how
it's not fair? It's not fair. It's just
have you
not
seen
fair.
These doctors online making videos that say, okay, men, this is the alternative.
Okay.
You can't find your Viagra.
No.
You take how many pills a week?
Okay.
Okay, you go down to 2 pills.
All right.
Have you heard that?
No, you don't ever hear that because that doesn't exist.
That's crazy.
This world is just built for us menopausal women to have to struggle. Okay, just like, why is menopause not a disability?
Yes.
Because it really should be.
Yes. I agree with you. I agree with you. Just like you have leave for maternity.
Yep.
You need menopause leave. I have
paternity, back issues.
Listen,
all kind of the illnesses.
There's a state.
Menopause.
There is a state that has that.
Listen.
There's a state. And I have been heavy into some research because
don't worry.
Every state needs that for women.
Yes, they do.
I mean, we work from home. We run our
Mhm.
businesses from home. We work remote. The thing about it is, could you imagine the women who has to go get in their car, drive in traffic
Yep.
to their job? You're in leadership. So you have to stand up. You got to lead a team. You got to do presentations, whatever it is that you do. Not even in that. Different kinds of jobs. The most important ones is teachers in front of the
Yes.
classroom. I was a
Exactly.
teacher. I'm telling you right now, the way I'm set up right now, there is no way I could be riddled, hot flashing every, 30 minutes
Okay, could you imagine?
and
Them rooms be
dealing
hot as it is with the kids.
with them children. And I'm
Mhm.
hot flashing, my emotions all over the place.
Yep.
Classroom fans all over the place with the classrooms, and the students are like, what is wrong with my teacher? I
Mhm.
could not imagine that. Could you imagine the women who are essential workers,
Yes. Doctors,
doctors, nurses,
nurses.
all in the medical
Yep.
field caring for us,
Yep.
and you have to show up
Mhm.
and care for other people, and you really don't feel that well?
At all. And you don't get no grace for it. Hey, I woke up this morning, I had some cramps, I had a little migraine. Oh, take a little Midol, take a little Motrin,
Yeah,
Tylenol, and
yeah,
basically call that George, get yourself back
yeah,
to work.
yeah.
And the truth is that if they're not getting the proper treatment, or they get hit with the shortage of Estradiol patches that was helping them function,
Exactly,
okay? And
exactly.
now employers are looking at them like, I mean, I understand, but I don't understand.
Yeah.
You better get it together. It's just, honestly, it's not fair. It's really not fair. So, I mean, I know I blurted that out, but yeah.
I mean, but you make a valid point, because the thing about it is that if you see the issue of what's
Yes.
going on, then we need to address the shortage so women are
Correct.
feeling better, so we can show up at our jobs.
Yes.
We need to address the deficit in education.
Yep.
We need to address the shortage of healthcare professionals that are uninformed of
I'm
how
about to
to
say,
even treat
yep.
menopausal
Yep.
women,
Because that's,
because every gynecologist,
don't know.
every PCP
Mm-hmm.
may not have
The knowledge.
the knowledge for treatment plan
Mm-hmm.
for menopausal women.
Yep.
I mean, just because you are a healthcare professional, you have specialists, much due respect for that.
Yes.
But I think having access to someone that this is their specialty for menopause, I think that is something in medical school that needs to be added.
It is. It actually should.
Cardiologist, menopause specialist,
Yes.
nephrology,
Yep.
like that needs to be a thing, because you're dealing with reproduction, right? You're OBGYN.
Mm-hmm.
But where is the specialty on what happens when all of that
That stops. Exactly.
Yeah. You
Exactly.
need that knowledge. That's the gap that needs to be
Addressed.
addressed.
Yes.
That right there. Because now it's such a panic. Let me get the estradiol patch.
Mm-hmm.
Women are educating themselves. We have communities like this that we're
Mm-hmm.
saying, sis, you don't want to get medication so you can feel better. Or you're
Yep.
going to keep suffering through the hot flashes or the imbalance. You're
Mm-hmm.
going to keep stressing yourself out. And you do know that the number one cause of death for women in the United States is heart disease.
Yes, it is.
What contributes to heart disease? High blood pressure,
Yep.
stress,
Stress.
and
Yes.
we are stressed.
Yes, we are.
Now we're even more stressed because we need our patches.
Yep.
So
Can't get the meds.
that's what I'm saying. So it's kind of like, I feel like this should have been addressed before the crisis.
It should have been addressed because it was coming. It was inevitable.
Every woman,
Exactly. It's going to happen. So it's like, why not prepare for it? When you guys in government make all these files, okay, and because for the in case of scenario, why wasn't menopause one of these things that was talked about? And I'm not saying the government, I'm just saying in general.
Yeah.
Why wasn't menopause something that someone sat down and went into more detail and said, you know what? I'm going to figure this mystery out. So that when women don't have to go through this. We have to make it easier for the women in our life. And that's just it, period.
So to add to that, why don't you add it in the health classes when they have to go in high school?
Oh, yes.
You talked about puberty. You told us
Yep.
about our menstrual period. You
Yep.
told us about reproduction, sperm, eggs,
Mhm.
ovaries,
Yep.
testicles, all the things.
Put it in there.
Why is menopause not in there?
Yes. Yep.
Why don't we know what happens when all of this you just taught us?
Stops. It's
Yeah.
gone.
Yeah. But why isn't that something?
It's not party time, unfortunately.
That's what I'm saying. And I just had that thought while you were just saying that. It's
Yeah.
like, why were we not taught that in health class? I mean, it's a part of, even if you just want to do a course in health specifically to women's health.
Yeah.
And men's health.
Mhm.
I think it's something that, or not even split it up, because this is something that our husbands help us through or need to know about or support us through.
Yes.
So why not put that part in health class?
I agree. Listen, there is a crisis.
Yeah.
And the crisis is called MEOK. Y'all know what I'm talking about.
I don't know what what are you saying, Veronica? What's the crisis? You might have to edit that part.
Is menopause.
You might have to edit that part out because I don't know what Veronica's talking about.
I was gonna spell it out, and then I was like, "That's long."
You had a brain fall because you couldn't spell it out. That's
right.
what it was.
I said because you know what? I'm so accustomed to MenoTheSis, right?
Oh.
So I was about to, and I was like, "No, you idiot! You spelling menopause. Just get out of here."
Listen, do you realize everything that deals with us, with women, has men in it?
Yeah.
Menopause,
Mm-hmm.
menstruation.
Mm-hmm. It's so funny, and I couldn't answer them because my husband and Kennedy was actually talking about that, and he was like, they was playing off a MenoTheSis because Julia was like, I be saying MenoTheSis, and I was like, no, it's MenoTheSis, right? And then she was like, no, I understand it now. And then Kennedy was like, but like menopause, that don't have nothing to do with men. Why is there men in it? Menopause. And then Anna was like, yeah. Why is it called menopause? And then Julie was like, because men on pause.
Yeah.
Listen, this afternoon there was a lot of weird
conversations.
Trying to figure it out. And I'm just like, okay, guys.
But I never thought about, like, why are they
always involved? Okay, the Viagra, that don't got nothing with women in it.
Right.
So, we can't even have menopause for ourselves.
Right. That's why I'm like, what? What is the...
And we don't want it for ourselves. So that's the one thing y'all could have shared.
I mean, but if you think about it, the word woman.
Right. That's true.
Men on the end, woman. It's the rib.
Because they really swear men really, really, really rule the world. That's why they jump hurdles and hoops to make sure that men have more options to the things that they necessarily need.
Maybe it's the concept of the rib.
It could
from
be
Adam.
Listen, but
Adam
and Eve, y'all listen.
I'm looking for her.
She right there.
When I get to up yonder where I'm gonna be, she the first one I'm gonna be looking for.
Like, yeah. Hear me. I was about to say,
girl,
I'm from New York.
Veronica.
I'm sorry.
Okay. But yes, it's her fault for a lot of things that we going through. Okay. So, Veronica, what I think is that what today's conversation really comes down to is that for years, women were not really openly talking about these conversations. So now we're talking about hormone therapy. We're talking about supplements, shortages, pharmacies.
Yep.
We're talking about mental health and emotional wellness. And we're talking about what happens when medication that's finally helping you suddenly is sitting on the pharmacy shelf and you don't have access to it. So we're asking the questions, we're seeking the answers, and I think that here on MenoTheSis, exactly the exposure that we need to figure out what are we going to do to address it.
Correct.
Because if enough
How
people
can we help?
Exactly.
Right.
If enough people, if I'm telling you my personal experience and just how to navigate that you may be able to find a box of patches, I hope I've done that for you today. So that's kind of like what it is. It's about making sure you know that there are questions to ask and there's conversations to have.
Yes. And, we welcome any advice or information that anyone that's watching
Yep.
can provide. So if you know of a supplier
Correct.
or someone who has patches and maybe their doctor, we can let us know. We can help put that information out there, or you can share the information in the comments in our videos so that women have access to that, but they can talk to their doctors. Hey, I heard this supplier has it. Why don't you check this supplier?
Yeah.
Online pharmacies are huge.
Yeah. Amazon. I've heard that a couple of times.
Exactly. So
Yep.
these are all sub areas that women can visit to try to get their medication if they need it.
Yep.
We're a sisterhood at the end of the day, and we're not in this alone. You nor I, we're in this together, and we just have to just keep putting the work in to make life easier for us.
I agree.
Because Viagra, menopause is not Viagra. So
Exactly. Ladies, seek knowledge, share knowledge, advocate for yourself, and whatever you have, like Veronica says, share with us, comment on the videos, let us know your supplier, what pharmacy that you may have gotten it from.
Yes.
I will tell you, my 3 boxes came from Walgreens. That's no plug to any specific pharmacy. I just so happen to have been blessed that I got my 90-day supply there.
Yes.
So check them all, ladies. Amazon, mail order drug. Check with your insurance company to see who your supplier is.
Yep.
And get them to your home. Try the smaller pharmacies like Veronica.
Mom and pops.
Yep. The mom and pops may have some. But ladies, I wish you the absolute best. That's what MenoTheSis is about. So that's why we invite you. And we're always telling you about the Menopause Awareness Summit because that information is going to be vital.
It is.
Yes. And
you
it's
have to be in the room.
3rd. Yes, you got to be in the room. Like Veronica said, it is Saturday, October the 3rd from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Apopka Community Center. We need you to come out, ask your questions. We're going to have a board-certified gynecologist to address what the other options are if you can't get your patch. We have the clinical pharmacist, Dr. Jess was here talking about the shortage, letting you know what other options or what other medications may be the same ingredients, but in a different formation. And you can get that one. That one may be readily available.
Supplements and vitamins that you can take to help your body handle the hormone changes. Well,
the nutritionist, that's important to help us know how to eat, what to do in order for you not to be riddled with symptoms.
Yes.
Like I mentioned before, when I get enough protein in my body and I actually know my protein numbers, that is going to be key. That you can ask that information based on my height, based on my weight, based on like what is an average shoot for me to get protein as a woman this age that I am trying to continue to build muscle and retain collagen in my body, or how much collagen should I take?
Yes.
People think, oh yeah, get protein, get collagen, take creatine. Sometimes you don't know what amount and what to do. You might be more harm than good. So it's good to have a nutritionist, and the nutritionist will be there. And then the most important piece, the licensed mental health counselor.
Oh, yeah.
That is Miss Victoria Henry, who's going to help us balance all this stuff, help us to keep our minds together when you don't get the patch.
Exactly.
What kind of exercises, what can you do to help regulate your emotions so you're not popping off on nobody waiting for the patch too, okay? So ladies, that's all we got. Happy hormones. I always wish you, and thank you for joining MenoTheSis.
See you guys October 3rd.
October 3rd. See you at the summit.
MenoTheSis.